Yo, what's good? It's your boy J-Rod, and today, man, we got ourselves the Western Conference predictions for the NBA standings. Predictions, I worded that weird, but we're going to keep that intro. So I made the Eastern Conference predictions. If you guys didn't see that, I'll leave a card somewhere up there so you can check it out. But right now, we are going to be doing Western Conference. Western Conference is tough. I'd say I got at least 2 to 3 teams. Nah, maybe not 2. I see about 2 teams that didn't make the play-in tournament that I think do have a really good chance of actually making the play-in tournament. But it's rough. It's rough. It's also tough to pick the top 3 to 5 teams. But starting at number 1, I'm going with the Warriors. Coming off an NBA championship season, I think the young guys are going to get a lot more minutes. I think Kuminga and Moses Moody are going to be really good coming in their second years. Steph Curry, Clay, Draymond, they're still going to do their things. You got Wiggins, Poole. They just got so many good role players that they can afford for guys to be out with injuries, and they can recover from it. That's a big thing when I do these standing prediction videos as well, is how can teams recover from injuries? And the Warriors are one of those teams that I think can recover from having some injuries. I know they slipped down a little bit when they lost Draymond and Curry for a little bit, but I think this season will be a little bit different. At the number 2 spot, I'm going with the Grizzlies, hitting the number 2 seed once again. They did lose guys like DeAnthony Melton, a couple of their role players, but they still have so many good young pieces that are going to come in and help the team regardless. Ja Morant's coming off a crazy year. I think he's going to be great again. Jaren Jackson's getting better defensively. If he could just stay out of foul trouble, that would be huge. And like I said, they're another team if they got guys who get it. We saw Ja Morant get injured, and we saw the Grizzlies win more games when Ja was out. So, that's my stance on the Grizzlies. At the 3 seed, we got the Denver Nuggets. I was heavily considering putting the Nuggets at the 1 seed because, the Nuggets have been able to be a very good basketball team with just having Jokic, and imagine adding Jamal Murray and MPJ once again. But you don't know if MPJ is going to be able to stay healthy for a whole season. He hasn't really been able to do it yet. I think Jamal Murray might take some time to get his feet warm, get off that rust. I still think he's going to be good, but it might take some time. And obviously, getting that chemistry back, I think it'll still be good. But, he's playing with guys that he hasn't really played with, like Highland Bones, a couple other guys. So it might take him a little bit, but I think the second half of the season they'll end strong. At the 4th seed, I'm going to go with the LA Clippers at the 4 spot. They've been a really good regular season team with losing guys like PG and Kawhi. I mean, the fact that they made it to the play-in tournament and almost into the playoffs without having their 2 best players means a lot. And now that you're going to have those 2 best players back and John Wall, I think they're going to be good. They're going to be really good. Playoffs could be a different story, but for the regular season at least, I think they're going to be a great team, and I could even see them getting the number 1 seed. But because of chemistry issues, I'm going to slip them at 4. So at number 5, I'm going to go with the Phoenix Suns. I'm slipping them down a little bit. I don't think they're going to be as top-heavy as they have been the past 2 seasons. Chris Paul, I don't know if he'll be able to stay healthy the whole season. The Suns have still been a good regular season team without Chris Paul. DeAndre Ayton, is he still going to have that same motivation after, having that weird situation with the Suns and the Pacers, and now he's getting paid all this money? Who knows? I'm just throwing some things out. And they didn't really make too many off-season changes from last year, so I'm going to put the Suns at 5, and I'm pretty confident with it. Now, at number 6, I'm going to go with the Dallas Mavericks. Luka, obviously goated. Regardless, they're going to be at least anywhere through, that middle of the East, 4 through 6. I feel like it's a lock. Plus, you have the addition of Christian Wood. You got Tim Hardaway Jr. coming back. I think the Mavs are going to be looking really good. I don't have too much to say there. At 7, I'm going with the Lakers. I know people got them a little bit lower, in that play-in tournament range. I got them at 7. I think they're going to figure some things out. Anthony Davis being healthy and having a star year is going to be the most important thing for the Lakers. We know LeBron's going to produce. Russell Westbrook, whether he plays good or not, I don't think it has as big of an impact as Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis is the key to everything for the Lakers this coming season. And I'm going to put some trust in him. Now, I know the 7th seed isn't anything crazy. I'm acting like that's like a huge accomplishment, but I just don't think the role players are good enough. If Anthony Davis does end up getting injured, or LeBron or Russ, the role players are still really bad. And losing Malik Monk, I think, hurt a lot. Malik Monk was definitely a very good serviceable guard that they lost. But maybe guys like Austin Reeves can come in and play a big role in his sophomore year. So at the 8th spot, I'm going with the New Orleans Pelicans. Now, maybe a little bit low for the Pelicans. Can Zion stay healthy for a full season? That's very important, obviously, because if he does, this could be a team that could definitely hit top 4 or 5. But, yeah, I'm going with the Pelicans at 8. I'd say that's a pretty safe spot for them. And we'll move on now to the play-in tournament teams. I got the Timberwolves at 9. Some people are like, you got them one spot down from last year, and they picked up Rudy Gobert. Why are you doing that? Well, I think it might take some time for Cat and Rudy Gobert to get that chemistry to be able to work together. I think for the regular season, it could be a really good duo. I'm worried about the playoffs, but this isn't the playoffs, and I have them ranked low. But, I think, losing guys like Pat Bev, Vanderbilt, you kind of lose that grit and grind mentality that made them so good last year. And although Rudy Gobert is a great interior defender, the best in the league when it comes to protecting the paint, shot blocking, all that stuff, I think losing that, perimeter defense, grit and grind mentality and leadership is something that could deteriorate the Timberwolves' success and some chemistry issues. But I still think they're going to be a good enough team, and I don't think 9's a terrible spot for them. But I could see the Timberwolves could also just be like a top 5 team. Like I wouldn't doubt that as well. Next, we got the Portland Trailblazers, the last team to make it into the play-in tournament. The Trailblazers is 2, right? Okay, yeah. All right. Or is it all 1? Is it all one word or is it separate? How do I not know this? I think it's separate. But, yeah, the Portland Trailblazers, it's hard for me to see Dame not make the playoffs once again. I know a lot of it was due to being injured for pretty much the whole season last year, but you're going to have a healthy Dame Dalla. People forget how nasty Dame really is. And Fernay Simon's coming off a really good year. I think he's going to have a lot of confidence in this year. Jeremy Grant was a big offseason signing. You still got Nurkic. I think they got a good enough team to make the 10th seed. At 11, I'm going with the Sacramento Kings missing the play-in tournament once again. This would hurt for the Kings if they got 11th. I actually do kind of like some of the moves they made. They picked up Malik Monk. They picked up, who else did they pick up? They picked up another pretty good shooter. I forgot who it was. Keegan Murray coming off a really good summer league. I don't know. I just don't think they have enough. Really what the Kings need, they just need De'Aaron Fox to have a big-time season, and they need their shooters to produce. Be able to hit down the shots off of De'Aaron Fox and be big-time. Obviously, Sabonis is still an all-star caliber player. Yeah, I just don't think there's enough from the Kings. And they've just, after all these years of missing the playoffs, it's just hard for me to pick them to make it this year. And then we got the Utah Jazz at the 12th spot. The Jazz could be a sneaky team and still make the play-in tournament without Rudy Gobert, but I think people are going to realize how impactful Rudy Gobert really was to the Utah Jazz. I think it's going to take the Jazz some time to really retool this team around Donovan Mitchell. I don't even think the Utah Jazz are that confident in their ability to retool around Donovan Mitchell, which kind of proves to me that they're not going to have a great regular season. Losing Royce O'Neal, I think, was pretty bad, too. I mean, not for the Jazz because they got a first-round pick out of it, but I mean for this coming season. Your best perimeter defender. Now you have no perimeter defenders. Actually, that's a lie. You got Vanderbilt and Pat Bev, so I'm lying on that. But I don't know. Maybe the Jazz could throw me off guard and make the play-in tournament. I guess I could see that, but because of how good Donovan Mitchell is, but Rudy Gobert definitely is a big-time loss. So at 13, I'm going with OKC. I was on a TikTok live, and I saw someone put OKC at the, what was it? At the 8th seed. I was like, OKC? You got that much confidence in Chet and those guys? Listen, I like Chet. I like Josh Giddey. I like Shea. I like the things they're doing over there. Your boy is Josh Giddey, man. So I mess with Josh Giddey. they're still a young team. They're still trying to figure out their pieces. Lack of leadership. A lot of reasons. 13 seed there. But I think they have more talent than the Spurs and the Rockets, which is why I put them over. At 14, I'm going with the Spurs. I know a lot of people have the Spurs at the 15 spot. I'm just going to give them that one-up edge just because of Greg Popovich. They're always going to have a great system, great organization. They're going to be coached right. For that reason, I think they're going to play competitive as well. I think guys like Joshua Primo, even though they're not going to be the best players, I think they're going to be guys that are going to be competitive day in and day out, every single game. And they're not going to give up. And I think Keldon Johnson's going to have a big-time season as well, an MIP-type season. At 15, I'm going to go with the Houston Rockets. I think there's a lot of promise on the Houston Rockets. I think there's going to be a lot of guys with talent, clearly. Some good flashes from Jalen Green, Jabari Smith, Kevin Porter. But I think at the end of the day, when it comes to wins and losses, I just don't think they're going to have that right, I don't want to say basketball IQ, but have that right sense of, making the right plays. Like the Spurs, they may not have as much talent as the Rockets, but I think when it comes to late game scenarios, I think they might make the right reads, the right plays that the Rockets might not be making. Just a young team, young head coach, everything about it. But you're going to see a lot of good flashes of talent. So yeah, that was my Western Conference predictions. Let me know what y'all think. Let me know if there's anything I should change. I kind of like it. I mess with it. So yeah, leave a like on the video if you enjoyed. Subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed. And turn on those post notifications so you do not miss any future videos. Love y'all, man. Peace.